Imagine waking up each day knowing exactly what step to take next. Free from doubt, steady in your decisions, clear in your direction. There is an extraordinary power within you, waiting to be accessed. Your intuition is not luck, not a rare lightning strike, but a living system you can train. Tonight we rewire your brain for inner wisdom. We'll blend neuroscience and soul, structure and softness, the language of circuits with the language of signals, so your mind and body move as one compass. You and I are going to build an intuitive life, a daily ritual that amplifies your deepest knowing, an environment that invites insights, and the art of detachment that lets breakthroughs arrive on their own timing. No hype, just a protocol that works. Start with a simple truth. Intuition is fast pattern recognition plus embodied sensing filtered through attention. 3 brain networks cooperate like a jazz trio. The default mode network weaves memory, imagination, and meaning in the background. The executive network in your prefrontal cortex organizes, selects, and translates intention into action. The salience network notices what matters right now and flips the switch between inward reflection and outward focus. When your breath is calm, your body feels safe, and your attention is steady. These networks synchronize. That felt sense of, "this is the move," is your cortex reading a clear vote from your heart, gut, and interoceptive signals. You strengthen that signal by shaping your chemistry. Alpha coherence settles mental noise. Theta access opens associative insight. Healthy dopamine points your focus toward progress, not endless novelty. GABA provides quiet. Noradrenaline provides precision. Vagal tone raises heart rate variability, so your nervous system can shift states without friction. This is flow state. Effort falls, clarity rises, and decisions feel obvious. Now, we build your daily core ritual. 5 pillars: short, repeatable, powerful. Breath priming to settle the system. Body unlock to tell the brain you're safe. Single point focus to stabilize attention. A 2-prompt intuition journal to translate hunches into language. And 1 minute of micro-silence to let the answer step forward. Keep it small so it survives your busiest days. Keep it sacred so your brain learns. When we do this, wisdom arrives. Breathe in through the nose. Long, quiet. Breathe out a little longer than you inhaled. 4 in, 6 out, again. Feel your ribs expand like an umbrella. Exhale as if fogging a mirror. This lengthened exhale cues the vagus nerve, drops cortisol, and invites alpha theta. 2 to 5 minutes is enough to shift your state. Wake the body. Slow spinal rolls, shoulders melting down the back, jaw unclenched, hips circling like you're tracing a figure 8. Movement tells the cerebellum it can predict what's next. Predictability equals safety. Safety equals openness. Open bodies make open minds. Choose a single focal point, a candle flame, the edge of a leaf, a dot on the wall. Let your gaze rest softly. Thoughts will wander. Let them. Gently return. Each return is a repetition building prefrontal stability. This is gym time for attention. Open your notebook. 2 prompts only, written quickly without editing. What am I sensing beneath the obvious? What single step would future me thank me for today? Write what arrives, even if it feels small. Especially if it feels small. Small is honest. Small is repeatable. Small is how neuroplasticity works. Close the eyes for 1 minute of micro-silence. Hands open. Ask, is there anything I am forcing that wants to unfold? Don't chase. Let the answer come toward you, like a tide rolling in. If nothing arrives, perfect. You're training receptivity, not control. You've planted the seed. Now we water it throughout the day with 3 boosters: Stillness, Scan, Select. The 3S rule. Anywhere, anytime. Pause for a heartbeat, feel your feet, scan the moment for the 1 highest leverage action, select it, move. Decision labeling. Whisper to yourself, head call, heart call, gut call. You're mapping which channel is speaking so you can verify with results later. Friction delete. Remove one micro-obstacle daily, one notification off, one distracting tab closed, one clutter cluster cleared. Attention is oxygen for intuition. Protect it. Your space becomes your co-pilot. Design it. Warm, indirect light softens the visual system and invites alpha. Cool overhead glare jolts noradrenaline and scatters focus. Choose soundscapes that are predictable and low. Brown noise, soft instrumental, water, wind through trees. Avoid lyrics during ideation. Language areas will compete with your own inner narration. Scent, lightly. Citrus for alert calm. Cedar for grounded clarity. Keep the visual field clean. One notebook, one pen, one meaningful object. Fewer visual competitors equals more cognitive bandwidth. Add a touch of nature, a plant, a stone, a window view. The visual horizon widens. Your default mode and executive networks harmonize, and insight has room to enter. Detachment is the secret door. Intuition often arrives the moment you stop pushing, not because you quit, but because you let the diffuse mode integrate. Ask a clear question and write it down. Work on it with presence for a short, focused burst. Then step away on purpose. Walk around the block. Stretch. Wash a dish. Water a plant. Take a shower. Hold a soft curiosity. Return and capture what surfaced. The default mode network weaves, the salience network watches, and the prefrontal cortex translates when you come back. Insight is a baton pass, not a wrestling match. You are also training your body to speak louder. Interoception is the inner sense of breath, heartbeat, butterflies, warmth, cold, constriction. Most people mute it under noise. You will amplify it. Name sensations without story. Warmth in sternum, cool air in nostrils, tight band around the temples, spacious belly. Labeling sensation recruits the insula and quiets limbic reactivity. When the body feels heard, it speaks more clearly. Intuition speaks through this channel. Let's expand your protocol into a full day. Morning. Your first hour sets your state. No phone, no headlines. Your daily core ritual happens before you ingest everyone else's urgency. Add 5 minutes of daylight exposure outdoors if you can. Circadian alignment boosts serotonin by day and melatonin at night. A regulated sleep-wake cycle stabilizes insight because the hippocampus and cortex consolidate patterns during deep sleep and REM. Protect your evenings accordingly. Dim lights 2 hours before bed. Keep the room cool. Keep devices out of the bed. Write one sentence about the intuitive win of the day, something you sensed and acted on, no matter how small. The brain learns by proof, not promises. Midday is for rhythm. Work in cycles. 50 minutes immersed, 10 minutes off. During the off interval, step away, look at the farthest point you can see to rest your eye muscles, do a few hip hinges or shoulder openers, drink water, breathe. When you return, ask the 2 journal prompts again in miniature. What am I sensing beneath the obvious? What is the next single step with the most leverage? You are teaching your salience network to choose signal over noise. Evening is for integration. Read 2 pages of something that expands pattern libraries, biography, poetry, systems thinking, case studies of creativity, not doom scrolling, not outrage. Revisit a problem and, instead of forcing a solution, ask a better question. How might this be simpler than I think? What would this look like if it were easy? What constraint is secretly a feature? Your questions shape your cortex. Better questions, better patterns. Build a weekly deep dive block. 90 minutes for one question only. 1. No multitasking. Whiteboard it, sketch it, mind map it, play with it like clay. Then end with a ritual of detachment. Close the notebook physically, put it in a drawer, turn off the light, and go do something completely different. Invite the overnight brain to work while you sleep. The glymphatic system will rinse metabolic byproducts, the hippocampus will replay, REM will remix. In the morning, write the first 3 ideas that greet you before the world speaks. Fuel intuition with simple physiology. Stable glucose breeds stable attention. A protein-forward breakfast calms the mid-morning crash. Hydration keeps cerebral blood flow steady. Caffeine can amplify focus, but time it. Too late, and REM suffers, which means insight suffers. Omega-3 fats support neuronal membranes. Magnesium calms. L-theanine smooths caffeine's edges. None of this is a prescription. It's a canvas. Observe what sharpens your signal and what blunts it. Adjust. Move your body daily, not to perform, to inform. Walking increases hippocampal pattern separation and sparks associative thinking. Slow strength work builds interoceptive clarity. When you notice form, breath, tension, release, you are noticing inner data. Yoga and mobility unwind protective bracing in the fascia. When the body stops bracing against the world, the mind stops bracing against ideas. Train your attention like a craftsperson. Deep work blocks are a promise you keep, not a feeling you chase. Decide once. Execute daily. If the mind wanders, bring it back. Each return is not failure. It is the repetition that builds strength. If you need novelty, curate it. 10 minutes of deliberate new input after a finished block, not during it. Curiosity is a tool, not a trap. Differentiate intuition from impulse. Intuition is quiet, specific, and persistent. Impulse is loud, vague, and urgent. Intuition feels like relief and rightness in the body. Impulse feels like pressure and fear of missing out. Intuition can explain itself after you act. It yields reasons on reflection. Impulse collapses when you ask a single grounding question. Will this still feel wise in a week? Practice this discrimination and log it. Over time, your accuracy rises and trust becomes earned, not imagined. Use micro-experiments to verify your signals. 2 viable options. Pick one by feel. Act for 7 days. Measure only what matters. Energy, simplicity, results. Then compare with the alternative. Intuition, partnered with evidence, is unstoppable. You are not trying to be right all the time. You are trying to learn faster than your environment changes. Guard inputs like you guard your breath. What you repeatedly see, hear, and discuss becomes the raw material for your default mode network. If you feed it outrage, it will produce reactive narratives. If you feed it craft, beauty, systems, and service, it will produce creative solutions. Mute accounts that hijack attention. Seek teachers, peers, and stories that make you more spacious. Your environment is not neutral, it's a sculptor. Invite wonder back into your routine. Wonder widens attention in a way that both calms and energizes. Step outside and find the sky. Notice the shape of a tree against evening light. Listen for the farthest sound. Awe lowers inflammatory cytokines and lifts generosity. A generous nervous system hears intuition more easily. Sleep is your silent collaborator. Non-REM deep sleep consolidates the structure of what you learned. REM playfully recombines patterns until new answers appear. A single consistent schedule beats perfect hours that constantly shift. If you wake at night with a hunch, capture it in one line and return to sleep. You are telling your brain that insight is welcome and also safe to set down. When emotions surge, do not exile them, include them. Emotions are data with energy. Anger says a boundary was crossed. Fear says uncertainty is high. Sadness says something valuable ended. Joy says a need is being met. Label the emotion. Breathe. Ask what information is in this feeling. Then ask, what action, if any, belongs right now? You are converting emotion from static into signal. Bring other humans into your field wisely. Intuition is contagious in communities that practice listening. Speak your hunches out loud to people who won't mock them. Ask them what their body says, not just their brain. Mirror neurons and the social vagus tune together. A calm, present conversation enlarges the room your ideas have to breathe. Keep your rituals small. Small means you will repeat them. Repetition builds wiring. Wiring builds identity. Identity produces behavior without debate. I am a person who listens to my inner compass is not an affirmation. It is a daily proof. Let the proof accumulate. Build an end-of-day closing ritual that honors the system over the outcome. Close your laptop. Clear the desk. Write one line. Today I listened when. And one more. Tomorrow I will begin with. Place the notebook where you'll see it. That little placement is a silent promise kept. Your brain loves closed loops. When you face a fork in the road, remember the triad. Head, heart, gut. Ask each channel the same question. What do you think? What do you feel? What do you know? If two agree and one is silent, wait. If one screams and the others are numb, take a smaller step. If all three align, move. And if they don't, detach. Step back. Let the bigger picture appear. If you ever get lost in noise, return to the first breath. In through the nose. Out longer than you inhaled. Shoulders down, jaw soft, gaze resting, one object, one question, one line in a notebook. The path back is always simple. You will notice that as your intuitive muscle grows, your relationship with time changes. You stop rushing. You start sequencing. You stop multitasking. You start completing. You stop seeking certainty. You start cultivating clarity. Clarity is lighter than certainty. It leaves room for surprise. Surprise is the door insight prefers. Let's name your blueprint so it sticks. The intuitive flow protocol. Breath, body, focus, 2-prompt journal, micro-silence, 3S throughout the day, decision labeling, friction deletes, designed environment, detachment, deep dive weekly, white space weekly, steady sleep, stable fuel, daily movement, curated inputs, wonder, emotion as data, head-heart-gut triad, close the day with proof. That is your system. Learn it by doing it. Own it by teaching it to someone you love. Teaching consolidates patterns faster than solitary practice. You don't have to believe any of this on faith. Believe it because your days feel different. Because you make cleaner choices sooner, because you hear yourself under the noise, because your creative problems stop feeling like cliffs and start feeling like puzzles, because you go to bed proud of a small, honest finish instead of exhausted by 1,000 half-starts. Right now, commit to one proof scene for tomorrow. Place your notebook and pen where you prepare your morning drink. Place your walking shoes by the door. Place a glass near the sink. Place a plant or a photo of a horizon in your workspace. Reduce friction before you sleep, so morning you steps in like a friend who already tidied up. When tiny doors are easy to open, you walk through them more often. If this journey is landing, if you can feel your nervous system soften and your attention sharpen, this is your moment to anchor it. Save this session so you can return to it whenever doubt gets loud. Like this video to mark the decision you just made. Subscribe and turn on notifications so this becomes your on-demand reset when the world pulls you off center. Share this with one person who is ready to trade noise for knowing. Then write one sentence in the comments to seal it. I trust my inner compass, and begin your 7-day protocol tonight. You already carry the answers. Now you have a system to hear them. A body that feels safe enough to tell the truth. A brain tuned to notice the pattern that matters. A life designed for flow. Walk into your week with that quiet power. Breathe, listen, select, move, and watch your outer world rearrange itself around the clarity you practice within.